down to
and then
this.
hit go live. We're going live.
All right.
Any vacation's good, even though the honeymoon.
We're on now. Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 7 PM. Mr. Wiggins, a roll call.
Commissioner Gillard,
Here,
Commissioner Baird,
Here.
Commissioner Burton,
Here,
Commissioner Jocelyn Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Lonnie Jones is maybe delayed, is that
yes, she's got that.
not coming? Excused. And Chairman Davenport,
Yes, sir.
we do have one.
Okay, the next item on the business here is the minutes from November. You guys have read and would like to make a motion.
you're going separately.
Okay, yeah. Clarify that will include the minutes from November and December. I would like to make a motion.
December needs to be corrected. I was not here in December. I was unexcused. I was not here. Yeah, I know. Bonehead.
On to the December ones.
On the December one.
On the December one.
Yeah, you weren't here, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Wait, look.
You want to read that?
I missed one. Yeah, I missed one too. I'm not supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
You were here in December, weren't you?
Which one?
No, that was my
Okay.
Well, who was the chair?
Ed was, Ed was.
Ed
See, it
was-
says disgust right there. It was disgust.
And yeah, it's excused, yes, you were there.
You were disgusted.
So who ran the meeting?
Ed,
Commissioner
Baird.
Baird.
Well, the senior member, that makes sense. I didn't know if we had a backup for the backup.
That'd be you.
the most senior member. And any other corrections? I move the minutes be approved with corrections to the December minutes.
I seconded.
Before we get ahead.
You got that, Mr. Wiggins?
I did.
Okay, now we will move into our new business. I'm going to open this hearing at 7:03 PM. This is CUP 21-01. It is a quasi judicial hearing. Does any member of the planning commission have any ex parte contact or bias?
No.
Mr. Wiggins, a staff report on that, please.
All right, so we received the Lawn Falls application on January 11th, 2021, asking for a conditional use permit for property located on 551 North First Street in Union. She's asking to park an RV trailer on the residential property for family and friends to live in when or as needed this year. I guess, you know, with the year and with COVID, and some families had some hard times. She doesn't anticipate much more year. She still uses the RV to go out and about in the summer and stuff like that. But there will be people living in it from time to time. She has a small house and they just use that for a bedroom. So her lot's approximately 75 by 100 feet. It's highlighted there in yellow for you on the tax map. I'll probably I'll give you some Google overview pictures of everything and kind of where it's at, where it would be parked. You can see on that bottom picture, a little minivan there, and kind of park more in that area. Let's see. Applicable criteria. Any person desiring to park, locate, keep, or maintain an occupied RV coach shall apply for a variance with the city of Union. Such application shall be referred to the planning commission. Applicant shall meet all standards and requirements through the state of Oregon Health Division, Union County Health Department, and the city of Union, including those requirements set forward in section 16. 83 ordinance number 276 series 1969 as amended by ordinance number 281, series 1970. These following sections apply. Notices, city administrator is going to be issuing notice to people 300 feet away. And that was done on the January 29th. Staff review the proposal to find the following findings of fact and conclusions. The applicant, Yvonne Hall, applied for an occupied trailer at her house. Said applicant has been reviewed, accepted, and referred to the planning commission. The application contained a suitable drawing identifying the location of the RV location. City services are available and have been installed to the home in the area. The residence does have adequate electrical service to power the trailer. The fire chief will require a minimum separation of 10 feet between occupied RV trailers and any other structure for fire, life, and safety concerns. Applicant states the trailer will be used for sleeping only, and there's no plan to hook to water or sewer. People staying in the trailer are planning on using the bathroom at the home. No letters or comments have been conveyed to the city of Union on the application. The applicant, Yvonne Hall, has met the requirements for applying for a conditional use permit. Provided there's no relevant testimony regarding the application tonight. The staff recommends the conditional use permit, if issued, should expire within 1 year. Could be extended by review of the planning commission. The RV is 10 feet, placed at least 10 feet from all other structures when occupied. All electrical hookups meet standards set forth within the most current electrical code. If the RV is hooked to any city water or sewer services for living purposes, not just a fill or dump, a second water or sewer charge shall be paid for the trailer. And that's all I have. And then the rest of the application there and her message to you guys, along with her site map, explaining where things would be. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Wiggins. At this time, the applicant, if you'd like to make a presentation, please come up, state your name. And
my name is Lavon Hall, and I'm the applicant of the 551 North First. And the little bit confusing on the picture from the overhead. It shows the little RV. That's not the portion where it's being parked. If you look at the drawing, you can get it. The RV is back on the north side of the house. My little RV that I used to have once in a while, someone might sleep in it, but it was not occupied. And the reason we're occupying it right now is there's 4 adults and 3 children. My daughter has the adjoining property that faces Chestnut. And that's where the gate, if you look on the drawing, there's a gate that goes into her property. And there's 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, but there's 4 adults and 3 children living in the house. It's kind of crowded. And this summer I turned my garden spot, which is in the southeast portion back of my house, into a playground area, and that was a nice playground set for the little great grandkids to come, because they come to GG Hall, is what I'm called. And they like to come, and I love to have them. But sleeping, I just have the one small bedroom, and it's pretty crowded. So I decided to go ahead and get the larger RV, which would be something that have quite a large family. And if we want to go out in the summer, we'll pull it out and it can be movable. That's why we put the big fence and gate back in my driveway. You can see where it is in place so that the gate will open and the RV can be pulled out and it may be gone next summer. But for right now, the way things are, it's working out pretty well, except the two little girls come just before Christmas, and the only thing they wanted for Christmas was to not have to be sleeping in the living room and have a bedroom where they could have their own prayer and so forth. And that's kind of what got me started thinking about this. I thought, I've got all that big driveway back there, and the kids are there a lot, and we like to camp and so forth, so why not do something that will help me to get it to them for the rest of the winter? That's pretty much it.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Do we have any testimonies in favor? Would that be online? I don't see anybody else here, so.
I haven't seen anything. We are doing something just a little new instead of on Facebook. We are on YouTube Live now. So, but there is a place in our Facebook page to redirect. Anyway, that is where we're at right now.
Okay, so then any testimonies in opposition on there? All right, well, I guess at this time it's 7:11 p.m. and I'll just close this hearing for deliberation. Commissioners, feeling so good.
I have no issues, and believe I'm in favor of the whatever the conditions that Doug presented in here.
I have no issues either. I think she's done her homework.
I agree.
Your thoughts, Rob? I just want a clarification. I guess I didn't understand the difference, why this one's a variance and not a conditional use. I know you,
Yeah,
the records show that these have been processed as a conditional use rather than a variance. You have that paragraph on the.
Sure. So usually when we look at variances, we look at something more long-term than we do conditional use permits. And conditional use permits are generally fairly temporary. That's why we tend to use conditional use permits for camper trailers, RVs, those types of things, because they're not going to be there forever. Usually when I look at variance, we look at something that's going to be impeding or doing something that's going to be more permanent, like, maybe a variance to, encroach upon the setback with your home an extra couple of feet. It's not like your home's only going to be temporarily there unless a tornado comes through or something. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I look at the variance versus the conditional use permit.
And you said in your proposed conditions that they would have to, the permit would expire, but they would have to come back here and ask for an extension.
Yeah, all conditional use permits, unless you guys put something longer on it, are generally a year. And then if there's any extension, it has to come before the planning commission again for approval. You have to have another period in which the public has a chance to comment in case, things aren't going good or whatever. Or all of a sudden they have a neighbor who's in that doesn't like it and wants to voice their opinion or something along that line. So that's why we do that. And then according to our ordinances, you can only have one extension. So you can only do a maximum of 2 years. So you can give a conditional use up to 2 years and then with no extensions, or you can give 1 year with an extension, a possibility. When they do come for an extension, the only charge they have is the mailing. So it's not another $350 charge. We just charge
That's what I was wondering.
we just charge the postage to get out to the neighbors, because usually what comes before you is a lot of times applicants don't even come. We'll just say we haven't got any bad news, or if there is, we'll give you the laundry list, and then you guys make a decision on it. So I think we do.
So you're saying we can do it for 2 years?
You can give it up to 2 years total, but no longer than 2 years.
Okay, but we could do it, you said with an extension.
You could do it 1 year
With
with
an
an
extension.
approval for an extension, which would only cost postage to her if she gets that far. Her plan to me originally was that by the end of the year, that she thought that most of this should be taken care of, but I don't know, so
Okay.
she could speak to that.
Seems adequate, 2 years, it seems adequate. Okay, I like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think on these things too, a good idea would be just to note that if there are living quarters, like homes have codes for like smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and stuff, that would be I mean, obviously not something we're going to police, but at least make a recommendation, or a note in there to have that in the trailer. If there are people sleeping.
Yeah,
Does the fire, because we've had that mentioned in here, do they go and, like, would they periodically go and check?
fire's only gonna check, make sure that they're 10 foot away from
Oh.
another structure. And that's the only thing that they're gonna check for, if they're living in it. Now, if you're not living in it, or whatever, you can park it up next to your garage or whatever, but if people are staying in it, they want a 10 foot separation.
Yeah, so
Well, I think she loves her grandchildren, so she's gonna make sure that she's got a smoke detector.
mhm.
It's a good
They're
recommendation,
usually
though.
just
Rick.
handled on a complaint basis as well, so it's not like we're driving around and checking up on all these. If we get a complaint, well, that's generally when we'll go out and check something. So if I got a complaint that, hey, she's parking it right next to her house and somebody's concerned, then I'm gonna call the fire chief, he's gonna go out and inspect it. And if it's too close, he'll tell her, hey, if you're gonna do this, you need to move it over or something.
I think if you look at the drawing,
Yeah, looks like you have plenty of room. Everybody good? I think so. Will I make a motion to approve this conditional use? I mean, variance, correct? Variance,
It's a conditional.
conditional use with the staff recommendations on there.
Are you making the motion?
Hmm?
You're making the motion? Okay,
In 2 years,
Just like it's written, 1
For
year.
1 year.
or the 1 year.
1 year with
Mhm.
a review at 1 year.
second. Okay,
Right, yeah. Go to the vote.
Commissioner Gillett,
Yes,
Commissioner Harder,
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon,
Yes.
Commissioner Jocelyn again.
Yes,
Motion passes with four.
Okay, motion passes and that'll close that order of business. We have a upcoming meeting, it looks like here to be noted for, it says Dennis Falk vacate of right of way, March 17th.
Yeah, so in the midst of doing all of the, with ODOT and doing all the pedestrian corners for ADA access, it's been discovered that for some unknown reason, the city's right of way on his property, it's really weird. We come off the bridge and everything goes straight into his property, it's like, almost goes to his pumps. So like his whole signage and all that is, and his overhang, it all sits in public right of way.
Mhm.
Even though it's on the backside of the sidewalk, so he's coming forward, we're coming forward to try to straighten that out, so that his property will actually end at the back of the sidewalk, basically. And so move that right away from his pumps to the back of the sidewalk so he can have his signs up and stuff like that. Plus, he's getting ready to put in new tanks. And part of those tanks he's putting in are a little bit bigger, so they would, if the right of way stay where it was, he wouldn't be able to put those tanks in because they would go into the city right away. So that's why he's looking to vacate that area, which is real weird when you go down that street. I don't know why right there we would need This one, it's like, are we gonna put a 4-lane highway here or something? I don't know, so. I don't think that's gonna be the case. And it's only like, there, believe it or not, there's like 2 or 3 properties that side of the bridge that doesn't, they're gonna work at trying to get corrected. His was the most, one, they're the one that needed to be done the fastest, most expedient, because he's getting ready to do that, new tanks, put new tanks in.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn the meeting 7:20 PM. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Party. Yeah, right. Did you just volunteer?
Questions?
Oh, good.
I know.